Okay, so I'm back. The camera decided to turn off, which was not my fault. I will blame that on something else. So, where did we leave off? We were talking about the influences or symptoms of loyalty. We were talking about becoming loyal to others' definition of success, others' plan for our life, and even others' label for us, where people will say, yes, you are this skin color, you are from this culture, you have this hair color, you have this last name, you have a degree from this school, you don't have a degree from this school, you don't have a degree at all, you look this way, you act this way, you talk this way. So here's my label for you. Now I want you to be loyal to it, and I want you to continue to put on this show for the rest of us according to this label that we have given you. So we'll look more into labels at the end of this class. Inside influences or inside symptoms of loyalty can be we become fearful of doing things our own way, afraid that we are not following the right path, as if there was a right path. What if this was true? Every step you take is the right step on the right path for you, even if it seems wrong in the moment. Again, can there be a wrong or right step? And can you follow the path of a butterfly? Consider that question for a second. Just watch a butterfly. Can you follow the exact path of a butterfly? You can head in the same direction, but you can't follow the exact path. We all have our own unique paths. So I can head in the same direction you're heading, but I'm going to take many different steps along the way to get there. There's no one right way to do it. But we have a fear, I got to do it this way and this way and this way. We get loyal to these paths on how to do it. We can also become dogmatic in our approach due to the inability to see what may or may not be working. When we start getting loyal, especially for following somebody else's definition of success, someone's plan for our life, or someone's label for us, we get dogmatic. Nope, this has to work. I was told this is how it's going to work. Everyone else is doing it. Why wouldn't it work? If it didn't work, why would everyone else do it? Well, you might want to consider that everyone else is doing it out of loyalty as well. I mean, it could be. And we can become so fixated on it, it has to work. Plus, if we've been doing something out of loyalty for so long, we've invested years, tons of money into this loyal approach, there's a part of us that doesn't want to have to go, I may have been spending some extra time and money where I didn't need to. That can be an uncomfortable question to ask. Not a complicated one, but an uncomfortable one. And last one, inside influences or symptoms, we can become apathetic or lazy. Think about the corporate world. People, I'm here because I have to. I'm here for a paycheck. I'm here for whatever. So I'll spend some time looking on Facebook at work when I'm not supposed to be. Or I'll spend more time, going over here to make these photocopies. Or I'll do this. Or I'll come late. I'll leave early. Basically, both of these inside and outside influences or symptoms of loyalty make us angry. That's what really is probably happening. Loyalty, at some point, will most likely create some anger, whether it's active or passive. Active anger would be aggressive. Passive would be, I guess, passive-aggressive anger. Okay? And there's a lot more to be said on anger. We won't say it in this class, but anger is also a fascinating topic to discover. But loyalty, in my experience, there's very little chances it will do anything other than make us angry. So, next, moving on to section 5. Success skill. So what skill can we start learning and teaching ourselves, even really rediscovering, that we can help us along the way? Be compassionate with yourself. How? Be mindful of yourself and teach others to be mindful of you also. So mindfulness is the ability to see others' points of view, whereas mind blindness is the inability to see others' points of view. So when I'm mindful, basically I'm saying, I have my unique experience, you have yours. I'm okay with the disagreement. I understand that you have a completely different view on this topic. I get it. Whereas mind blind is, no, there's no other point of view other than mine. My point of view is the only one that matters, or mine is the best, and I'm talking to you right now to persuade you to buy into my view of things. And if you don't, it's going to really irritate me. That's mind blindness. Perhaps now you have a better understanding of yourself and what you want. You may also have a new understanding of how others' definitions or desires have influenced you and your goals. Can we give ourselves permission to have our wants while allowing others to keep their own? So this is a big thing. You might find out that as you're looking into what you want, as you look into your definition of success, that it has been greatly influenced, and there's symptoms in there of outside forces. So if we can take a step back and consider being compassionate with ourselves and being mindful and going, I give myself permission to have my own experience and to have my own opinion. It's okay to have an opinion. It's just to own that opinion and own that judgment for ourselves. You need to have opinions and judgments, but it's when we start projecting them out to the outside world and making everyone feel like they have to have the same ones, or they're wrong or bad for not having the same ones. So could this also be true? It's not in the notes, but could this be true? We teach people how to treat us. So if I am mindful with myself, if I am compassionate with myself, if I acknowledge my own experience, if I respect my own experience, could that, just what's going on inside of me, teach you how to treat me? If there's any truth to that, then if we want to change how people are treating us, we always need to start right here and finish right here on working with how we treat ourselves. And again, if there's truth to the statement, we teach people how to treat us, how we treat ourselves is going to reflect onto them, and they'll learn how to treat us from how we treat ourselves. Next, section 6, success secret, become focused. Could doing too much be just as sabotaging as doing too little? I won't read through all those questions, but basically, there's a lot of things we could do. A lot of things. I would say this: what one thing can you start doing today for the advancement of your own goals? What can we start doing right now? Is it taking a look at defining self-sabotage, defining success, figuring out what you want, considering where have we been loyal, where have we been respectful? I would just pick one thing and start with that. Maybe even just going through and answering all these questions could be another one too. But if we try to do too much, it can become just as sabotaging as doing absolutely nothing. So, next one, section 7, success plan. I considered not putting this in. The reason I did was I like to give people some sense of what to do next. So, before we go into section 7, if at this point you feel you've gotten your fill of this topic and this section, I would just pause right there, stop right there, and come back at another time for section 7. If you're ready for it, let's jump into it. So basically, we're going to go through a few things that we can start doing. So at the end of this class, you go, okay, what do I do next? I've answered these questions, or I've done this, or I'd like actually some more to work on. Cool. Here we go. The success plan offers us what to do next as we transition into the next steps in the Roots of Self-Sabotage series. Hopefully, I'm hoping you'll join us. I'm offering and inviting you to join us for our second lesson. But even if you don't, you have some cool things that you can check out and consider doing as well. It is broken into 3 aspects of focus: the physical, the mental, and the emotional. Each one offers an exercise or a plan to assist in the work of the processing needed as we begin to look deeper into our own sabotaging behavior. So basically, these three things are to help us with the processing of this. Some of this stuff can get fairly deep. Questions we maybe have never asked ourselves. It can be a little, whoa, where does that question come from? This stuff kind of helps support us along the way. So, in the physical, I'd like to talk real quickly about what's called ego depletion. And in a very interesting book called Willpower by Roy Baumeister, he uses the word ego depletion. So here's a question. Is self-control a limited resource? So going back to change requires self-control, self-control awareness onto vulnerability of self. Is self-control a limited resource? In his findings, he's a social psychologist, it is a limited resource. Meaning, if I'm not feeling well, if I'm tired, if I have not eaten, if I just rushed over in traffic to get over here, and now we're going to have a talk on these questions, I might have had the intention and the available energy hours ago to discuss this, but now I don't. I haven't slept, I'm tired, whatever the case may be. So the concept is we have so much energy that we can devote to these things. It's the chief reason why you've heard some of these prisoner of war camp type stuff. They keep people awake for long, long periods of time. If you can get someone in a sleep-deprived state, they lose willpower. They'll tell you, yes, I'll tell you where this is and that is. I'll give up, secrets of the military. I haven't slept. I haven't got any food. Being tortured, all that stuff. So I'm wondering if there's small ways we do that to ourselves. Case in point. Could we be putting ourselves into kind of a sleep-deprived state and setting ourselves up for failure to engage in this material if we're not getting enough sleep? So going back to that subtle way of not sleeping, you go, no, I really want to answer these questions. I really want to do this. But, I spend an hour on the internet looking at, this page and watching this video, and I just ran out of time doing it. Or by the time at 11 o'clock at night when I go through to do this stuff, I just don't have the energy for it. Of course not. If this is true that self-control is a limited resource, we can burn through that energy and not have any energy for this. So how can we put energy back into us? If we're losing energy and we don't have energy to do this stuff, how do we put energy in? Number one, the physical, is drink more water. Some things I've read say the brain is 80.5% water. If that's even close to being true, it's important to drink water. So remember, our mind, the metaphysical mind, still resides in a physical brain, a physical body. Our body is going to affect our emotions and how we think and the way in which we think. So drink more water. You could take that up if you wanted to and take that on for the next, who knows, if you're planning on joining us for lesson 2, take that on for the next 7 days and try that and see if that can help you put some energy back into you. So that's the first one. Next one, physical, is what's called power poses. Now I'm going to reference a person. She's on YouTube called Amy Cuddy, C-U-D-D-Y. She's also a social psychologist who's talked about body posture and how our posture influences and actually increases our self-esteem